Well, emergency services are saying it's too soon to start counting the costs of the wildfires that are sweeping through the Garden route, forcing thousands of evacuations. 4 people died in the fires so far. Strong winds are hampering the firefighting efforts in Knysna. Emergency services there are still on high alert and firefighting efforts continue. Let's cross now to SABC News editor, that's Yuri Bluknot in Knysna. We're live to him now. Yuri, a little while ago I heard helicopters hovering in the background when we tested the line. How are the firefighting and rescue ops progressing so far today?
Hi, good afternoon. Yes, they've had a bit of rain this morning, which assisted them greatly. The wind has died down and the temperature has plummeted. It's really cold here in Knysna at the moment as the sun is setting. The helicopters you heard about 20 minutes ago, 2 Oryx helicopters and a BK-117 from the National Defence Force arrived here in Knysna to assist with water bombing the hotspots. The working on fire helicopter has been running throughout the day, bombing the hotspots. So the guys are doing a last round of bombing now as the light dims and it goes into evening. But there's still a lot of work ahead in the evening. The working on fire teams and the other fire teams will still be out there preventing flaring ups and just making sure that we don't have a repeat of what we saw yesterday. But for more on these specific things, I have Linton Rensburg here with me. He's from Working on Fire, and he can tell us more on what the night holds and the next few days and how they now will completely put out the fire. Linton, good evening. Tell us what's going to happen from here on in.
Well, I think the important thing is to make sure that we prevent any further flare-ups in the hotspot areas. So all our firefighters, including the aviation resources, will be concentrating on the hotspot areas. But most importantly, I think, is also making sure that the firefighters on the ground that have been mobilized from as far afield as the Eastern Cape as well as the Free State, that they are on the ground and get them busy to work on mopping up. That is now tomorrow, and at least to see to what extent we can bring this fire under control.
Now, you have got a lot of experience with working on fire. Is this one of the worst fires you've seen, especially in this area?
I think that's difficult to say at this early stages, but I think what we saw yesterday evening, the total devastation, the total destruction, the fact that there were several fires on multiple areas within the Greater Knysna area. So that's the one point I think that is a bit different. But I think the fact is that for us, obviously, in the National Department of Environmental Affairs working on fire program, we're very proud to be here and to be supporting the Knysna municipality, the Eden District municipality, as well as the fire protection associations. Yesterday evening we had about 100 firefighters providing that kind of support. We received a request for additional firefighters, and by tomorrow we should have a total complement of about 400 firefighters from the Working on Fire program. So I think that's quite significant. Unfortunately, yesterday, as a result of unfavorable weather conditions, we were not able to fly the helicopters. That situation has changed during the course of today. We have now about 14 aircraft that are on standby as we speak. And if conditions are right tomorrow, many of those aircraft will be operational.
Now, we saw the helicopters arrive late last night. They're doing a quick sortie. How critical and how important are these things to actually put this fire out quickly to prevent it from flaring up again?
Well, you must understand that, the way we fight wildfires, we have our ground resources, we have our aerial resources. It's very important with the aerial resources. We have our helicopter, but flying at a little bit higher altitudes is our spotter planes, and our spotter planes provide an essential guide to both our ground crews as well as our helicopters and water bombers in terms of where to do the water drops. So it's a coordinated effort. It's very important where our helicopters, with the initial attack, and particularly down here in the Western Cape, where we say within the first hour we need to make sure that we have aerial resources up in the air, particularly to attack the head of the fire. So that's quite important. Unfortunately, I think yesterday was a bit of a challenge with the wind and unfavorable weather conditions. But I'm quite positive that tomorrow, with all the resources that we've seen here now, the Working on Fire firefighters, the army down here, and local firefighters. I also saw, as I drive into Knysna this morning, firefighters from the military, firefighters from the city of Cape Town, firefighters from the Cape Winelands municipality. So it's been a massive coordinated effort. And certainly I think for the young men and women in the Working on Fire program that are part of these firefighting efforts, it's also a massive learning experience for them to provide the kind of support to this particular municipality.
Right, Linton, thank you very much for that update. Now, as you said tonight, the people will still be in the field and people are warned to remain watchful and vigilant and inform the authorities at any point if the fire do flare up to prevent a massive blaze as we've seen. And with that, we go back to Johannesburg.
Thank you, Yuri. Yuri Bluknot on the line to us there from Knysna, where we understand a massive firefighting effort is now underway, a cohesive, combined one with help from the city of Cape Town, the SANDF, Working on Fire and local firefighters. The focus now, of course, and for overnight efforts will be on prevention of flare-ups in the hotspots. Let's move on to some other news. The National